YMCA Edinburgh, predominantly we're based in the community of Leith, where most of our services run. We provide work for children, young people and families. What that looks like is a lot of one-to-one mentoring support for under-supported young people, with a couple of specific services around those that are care experienced, and also young people are at risk of offending or disengaging with school. I had a feeling that it would be beneficial for the organisation to have a bit of a pause and a reset and think about what our values are as an organisation. You know, over the time, I've been involved with the YMCA Edinburgh for about 12, 13 years. I've been in the sort of leadership role for about 7, I think. And there's been a kind of statement about, you know, our mission statement or whatever, which has kind of shifted a little bit over the years. And we've got a very strong, I feel, quite a supportive culture as a team and the way that we work with people. But I was beginning to feel that there was nothing sort of concrete underpinning that. And perhaps over time, if key people were to leave or things were to change, what if you lost some aspects of, you know, the values of what we stand for and what I see as, you know, how we go about having a big impact in Leith, but also within the YMCA and supporting one another too.
It's a fascinating organisation that deals across a whole range of youth issues or younger people's issues. And a lot of their charities, sort of challenges in there are about their values, which they're a values-led organisation, and how that reads across into their delivery mission. So there was not as much attention, but there's always something that we need to marry these two things up and also cast it in a way that says a positive message to external bodies as well, so that they actually see the roundness and the full picture that YMCA does.
I really enjoyed the time that I spent with Stephen, because I think his approach was looking at more than just the one need that I've raised. So it was about hearing a bit more about the charity and thinking about all the different areas that we would benefit from additional support. You know, so I didn't enter it thinking it's just about this one thing, the values. I know there's further offers down the line to work with us, which I really enjoyed.
For an organisation like YMCA, which is evolving all the time against an evolving backdrop, they need a point of reference for people coming into YMCA, their customers who use it, our clients that use it, and their partners and part of the sort of wider ecosystem that they exist within. So really, it's this point of reference that everyone can go back to and articulating that, because it's easy to take it as, oh, well, everyone knows the values, but no, it has to be articulated in such a way that everyone can buy into it and reference action against it.
And I feel that he had a sort of genuine interest in where I was coming from with things. You know, he had good conversations, which for me is quite builds enthusiasm around the work. His expertise was needed and helped me around how we go about the process of shaping the values for the organisation and steering us around that. But it was definitely a two-way street, the way we were going about things. So I had ideas about what would be a good fit for our organisation. He was really receptive to that and how we were working.
The problem with many of these corporate value statements is that these almost exist in a sort of an unconnected way relative to the communities that you engage with, and that could include your staff, your volunteers, the extended people, you know, your service recipients and stuff. And I said, well, why don't we do something that reflects not what you say you're going to do, but actually kind of reflects what you actually do, what you actually stand for.
He picked up the importance for me about the sort of voice of those people that we connect with and that access our services having an impact on what we've done. So that was really the starting point. You know, we created a survey that went out to everybody, you know, all the volunteers, staff, trustees, you know, all families, young people, and that was the starting point for it. So I really liked that aspect of the process too.
Adrian has got a great knowledge of the customer experience and how that works through and how organisations can map values towards their delivery, the actual processes that they deliver by. Adrian, he's a world expert in this, the volunteer that we actually used.
Normally some of these values kind of projects can feel slightly academic, slightly, out there, that it's like, oh, it's going to create a set of posters and things, but it's not about creating office art. It's about saying, well, how do we live these things? What do we actually truly stand for?
as a result of the project and the time offered through the Cranfield Trust, working with ourselves, we now have a set of organisational values with accompanying statements around them, and behavioural indicators that the staff team and people involved in the YMCA all played a part in shaping, and through checking in and being involved throughout the process, I believe all feel that they really sound true to what we're about. So that's a good fit for everybody and they're happy with them. That's great, but what we're not looking for is that's just something that sits on a shelf or is put on a website. So with a bit of the guidance from Adrian as well, going forward, we'll be looking at how do we make sure that these values are relevant and sort of set as a backbone to the work we do.
And it got to the point that it feels like, whilst it's more of an organic process and an iterative process, my sense is that they feel really happy and really comfortable where things have gotten to. Now, it's not markedly different to what they had or what they'd previously said, but actually, I think the real difference is about how they feel about it.
What it also means is that, one day I might move on and other members of staff might move on who've been long-serving staff to the organisation or volunteers. I think if we've got values which are sort of living and breathing throughout the organisation, then that sort of attributes to a culture that new people can come in and, work within as well.